Hey everybody, welcome back to the Carry and Cut YouTube channel. And if you're new here, sure do appreciate you stopping by and watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below if you'd like to. I try to answer all you guys back and I sure do love all the feedback. Check out our Instagram at Carry and Cut also and our Patreon too at Carry and Cut. We sure do appreciate all of the help that you guys send us on Patreon. You know, it's awesome to see, and all the proceeds from the Patreon are going to go directly back into the channel to buy new equipment and new knives to hopefully make the quality and the content better for you guys. So today, we got the tools out, and we're going to be taking this Benchmade North Fork apart. I want to give my good friend Jimmie Crowe a huge shout out. All of these knives that you're going to be seeing here coming up in the future are going to be directly from him. He sent them in for us to take a look at, review, take them apart, do whatever I want to do with them. So it sure is awesome to see that. And I also have a new tool here that another one of our subscribers sent in to us. So this is from Stephen Weigel, and you guys can see that right there. This is a, come on, focus on me. Don't want to. It is not liking it. It is a Flytanium Benchmade pivot tool. Come on. Here we go. So yeah, Flytanium. It's for a Benchmade pivot. It's like an alignment tool. So this can be pretty cool to see. It's of course got your T10 built in onto the one side of it. Now I got the focus all messed up. There we go. So it's got the T10 on the one side. Obviously that fits your knife, and then it's got the D-shaped cutout going on right there. That's going to help for your help get your pivot in and out and all that kind of cool stuff. So especially if you're just going to be swapping scales, that's going to be super easy to work on. But we'll see how it works on with this. So we're really going to need two drivers here. We're going to need a T10, T8, or T10 and T6. Obviously this could be pretty cool. We're going to try this one out. So thanks, Steven. Sure do appreciate you sending that in for us. And he requested that we try to get this, put it in use and see how it happens, see how it works. So let's go ahead and start with our T6s. As always, be super careful with these T6s. You don't want to strip them out. Always a lot of down pressure. That's your friend. You definitely want to put some pressure on them. Not like turning pressure, but actual pressure down into the fastener. So you're trying not to strip them out. That is the goal. So you can get this pocket clip off here. It's really awesome seeing all these knives that, you know, I wouldn't be able to access. Obviously, this knife has been discontinued for a while now, I'm pretty sure. So the fact that Jimmie has these knives hanging, just laying around, and he wants us to take a look at them is super awesome. So these definitely have some nice amount of Loctite on them. So that's pretty cool. We'll make sure we get those cleaned up and put new Loctite on there for him. So awesome. Let's go ahead and let's start on this side. So our pivot's going to be, yep, T6 all the way around. Always be careful when you're taking these out. Make sure you put them back in exactly where they're going to be going back in, at least the order of. So I always like to start at the rear, work my way forward, and set that one right there. And this knife does have barrel spacers that run along the back, so that's what these ones are going to be for. And they look like they're going to be the exact same size, so that's nice to know. Actually, let's start on the other side. I want to get this out of here. I want to use that new pivot tool to push that out of there. So let's go ahead and get this one off first. Alright. Said same deal. We're just going to keep on stacking up towards the front of what we're doing here. And these definitely are all the same size. So that's nice to know. But it's still good to keep track of what you're doing. And that's kind of strange. Just noticed that the blade stop right there is only on the one side. So that's pretty crazy. I wonder how it's going on over there. If it's just a pin on this side and it's threaded on that side, which is kind of, I'm guessing that is what it is. So we're going to go ahead and get this loosened up with our T10 bit. We're going to go in with our Benchmade tool. Super awesome to see that. Can't thank Steven enough. That is super nice that he sent that in for us. So we're going to go ahead and push this baby right out of there somehow. Maybe this one is a different. Okay, alright, so now we got that pushed through. And this should slide in wherever the D shape on the pivot is going to be, I think. There it went, just like that right there. So now you know, your knife is, the pivot's gone out of there, it's fully taken apart, and you can swap your scales right out. So you take your scale out, put your new scale back on, you know, put this side together, and so on and so forth. So it is definitely really cool. And I imagine, well, I don't think we're going to be able to build it this way, but it's still super cool to see how that works. So just like I said, you're going to line it up with your, oh, already got it messed up now. Oh, there it went, just like so. Yeah, that's awesome. Super cool. Really do like that. That is a nice little handy little tool right there. So thanks again, Steven. All right. So let's go ahead and take our blade out. We got phosphor bronze washers on this one. And I was watching a guy put some Benchmade together the other day, and I always, you know, get everything put together like this. Then I worry about sliding the blade in after that. And the guy I was watching, he started from the bottom and worked all the way up. So I don't know if you can do that on every. So no, that's even threaded on this side too, I think. Can't really tell. That's kind of a bad camera angle, but it is threaded on that side. But there's only one screw going in, and on this side of the scale, there's no hole for it. So that is definitely interesting on why they chose to do it that way. That is beyond me. That is a Benchmade design, and I'm not going to question it. So pretty, just pretty crazy to see and look at. That it's something completely different. So okay, we're going to go ahead and put that one there. Set that off right there. Go ahead and get our. And I always like that. Sometimes they do stuff different with the Omega springs too. Other knives just have, there isn't an actual hole put in the actual liner for the knife, for the Omega spring. Sometimes there's just something, a little thing it rides on in there. So that is definitely interesting to see. And this knife even has a different access bar too. So the at least the nubs that are on it are a little different than say the 940. If you guys can see that right there, there's like the whole different. I don't know why it's not wanting to focus very well today. There we go. You can kind of see, not really looks different, but different overall completely. So pretty cool. So let's take this one out of there. Take our spring out. Got our two scales. And this should just come right apart like so, hopefully. Yes, no, maybe so. Easier said than done. There it went. There it went. Those boogers just don't want to come out of there, and that's fine. They can stay in there if they want to. So let's go ahead and get some alcohol going here on the Q-tips, get everything cleaned up. So just go over what we got going on here. We got one blade, two phosphor bronze washers. We got two scales, two liners, standoffs, blade stop, Omega springs. We got our actual axis lock bar, pivot, and we got 5 body screws. So there isn't a whole crazy lot going on this knife, and that's easy to appreciate for sure. So these liners, standoffs, barrel spacers, whatever you want to call them, they are of course they're like a D shape, so they got to be indexed a certain way. So when you guys go to put them together, just keep that in mind. And this really goes for any Benchmade. It's not really just specific to this one. In general, they're all basically the same. And once you start taking apart, you know, a bunch of knives, they kind of all, unless it's some crazy design, they're all pretty much not exactly the same, but all the different lock styles. So your liner locks are pretty much all going to go together the same way that the any other random liner lock would. Same with your axis locks. The only things that are different are those when you get into your assisted and your automatic axis locks. Those are a little more challenging to put back together. There's a lot more moving parts in them, but still, with a little bit of practice and some time and some patience, they come together pretty easily. So nothing to be scared of, be afraid of when you're taking these knives apart and put them together. Get our washers a nice little clean up there. I might even throw a quick little polish on the. I seen a guy had well, it was like a jewelry cleaning cloth or something like that, and it seemed like it was pretty cool. It of course wasn't taking any material off, and I think that the 1200 grit diamond stone that I use sometimes, I don't really think it's taking much of anything off. It's more or less just I mean, it very well could be taking some off. Maybe I should think about switching that out. You know, I just don't really think it's hurting them that much, especially, you know, there's no warpage or anything going on like that, so it shouldn't be no big deal in my eyes, at least. So if you guys have any other, you know, suggestions on what I should be using to polish these washers, then let me know. I don't go too crazy. I just try to take, you know, any sort of little scale or nastiness off of them that would be, you know, making the action not as good as it could be, I guess you could say. Sorry, I keep getting you guys off camera here. Get that baby all polished up. And of course, all the tools, all the stuff you see out here on the table, like the KPL and the Locktite, all that stuff's going to be down in the description below if you would like to take a look at it and check it out. Of course, if you do use my links, that sure does, really does help the channel out. But that's completely up to you guys. Don't feel like you're obligated to do that. But if you'd like to support the channel, then feel free. So all this stuff is cheap. This is my favorite Locktite here. One of the subscribers was commenting that they had like a liquid type, and they, of course, they do have any sort of liquid type Locktite, but I just find that stuff works. This stuff works a little bit better for me. It's a little easier to put on, and you don't have to worry about a whole bunch entering into the knife at one time. Then you just got more cleanup you don't want to deal with. So, all right, let's go ahead and put this thing back together now. So let's go start off with our liners here. Which one we got going on here? Definitely be going on just about like that. And our other one, just like so. Like that right there. Let's go ahead and put our back screw in right here. We'll go ahead and get some Locktite action going on here. I'm kind of interested in trying how that one guy I seen put it together too. What I'm doing, I can't get that carried away yet. I still got to put this in. I'm losing it today, guys. Sorry about that. Alright, and of course your Omega springs are going to be one way only, so just keep that in mind. I mean by that, they got to be indexed too. They can only go on one way because of the little nubbin that sticks out that goes into either the scale or rides into where the axis bar rides in. So just like that. So now we got that part good to go. We can move right back on to putting, I'm going to start with this side. Yeah. So start with that one right there. Let's go ahead and put our back screw back in. There it is. Just a little dabble do. Whoa. Sorry guys, keep getting you off the camera here. I'm not getting crazy, we're just snugging them down for now. So this is definitely one of the easier ones that I've seen that you can, you know, put together and take apart. There really is nothing going on crazy, and definitely don't be afraid to do it. That's what I'm getting at. Don't be afraid to take your knives apart. You know, worst that could happen, you could find somebody to put them back together for you. I mean, I don't know if Benchmade would like to do it. I know they're kind of funny about when you start disassembling their knives, so at least it avoids your warranty. But, you know, if you, I'm not too sure about that either. I know that's how it used to be. I don't know if their rules have changed or what. I think it's kind of crazy that people can't service their knives. And, I mean, I get it. They want you to send them back into them. But at the same time, you know, if you feel confident enough in yourself that you can do it, then heck with it. Why shouldn't you? Why shouldn't you be able to if you don't want to? You know, you spend enough money on these knives that you should be able to do with whatever you want to do with them, if you please. So that's just my own personal opinion. So we're just going to snug those down just like so. Come on over here with this one. Do the same process. And now I can definitely see how easy that alignment tool would be working if you're just doing a scale swap. It would be immensely easy to just throw everything in there and not have to worry about it. You know, you slide that in, pop one scale off, put your screws in, flip the other side, do the same exact thing, and pop your line or pivot right back in. That's going to be sweet. But we're going to see how this is going to work out. Okay, just like that right there. Let's go ahead and get our sharpening stone out here. I'm going to try to give these washers just a little bit of love. Do like a nice figure 8 motion on it. Nothing crazy, just a little bit. Super light pressure, nothing too aggressive. Just trying to take the nice little top part of corrosion off of them, and it definitely does have some. So this is definitely not an aggressive stone. I think this is 1200 grit, so it's really nothing crazy at all. If you're gonna be doing this, just remember to put even amount of pressure on your whole finger as you can around the whole washer. Definitely don't want to be getting them marked up or anything like that. So I think that one's pretty good on that one. Don't want to go too crazy. Let's go ahead and give it a little wiping on the cloth here. See if that brought anything to life. There we go. That looks pretty good. All right, there's one. These were definitely dirty too. Jeez. They definitely got some miles on them, I'll tell you that. Some gunk. Alright. That should be pretty good for those. Let's go ahead and set that off to the side. And if you guys missed the review of this knife, don't forget to check that out. So I think that will probably go up the day before this one goes up. So if you want to check out the review of this knife, feel free to take a look at that. So let's go ahead and drop a little bit of KPL here onto the actual blade itself. We're going to throw our washers on like so. The KPL not only helps with the, of course, the lubrication of your knife, but it's going to hold our bearing on there also. So that's definitely a huge part. So this is where it gets a little tricky sometimes when you're putting these together. We're going to slide that just in there like so. And let's see if we can get our alignment tool going here. Maybe. Sometimes you got to pull your, man, yeah, that was a lot easier. Jeez. So then you slide your actual pivot part on like so. I think it should go in there a little farther than that. Where's our actual, there it is. So I feel like this should slide down in there a little farther, but it's alright. So now we can just kind of push this straight through. Hopefully it comes right out the other side. Maybe. Oh shoot. I did it now. Man, I had it too. That's definitely user error right there. Hold on a second. Got the washer all out of whack. Got everything all out of whack. Making you look bad, Steven. Not you. Making myself look bad. Alright, let's try that again. Yeah, for some reason I thought that would slide all the way over. Maybe it's different for different pivots. This pivot might actually be smaller than some of the other ones that it's designed for. And I don't know if it's designed for a certain one or not, but let's go ahead and try to slide this back out at the same time and keep everything together. Well, that didn't work like I was supposed to. A little technical difficulties going on here. There we go. Let's see if we can, oh shit, did it now. Really did it now. I'm making this way harder than it has to be, just like always. No, hell. Heck. Sorry, Lord. Alright, we need to remap, restart. I thought that thing would make it so much easier too. My idea was that it would slide all the way in like that, but it definitely isn't wanting to do that, so don't know exactly what's going on there. I didn't watch any videos on it either, so maybe that's my bad, but I thought it should just slip right on. Okay, maybe they are specifically made for different different pivots, and I can see that. Alright, so let's give this another shot here. I think that booger should go right in there. Alright, hold on a second, guys. Alright, guys, we're back. And it was a little bit of difficulty, but I got it right back in there now. So this thing definitely does help if you you know how you're supposed to be using it. So that's always going to be a thing you're going to have to look out for. Know how to use the tool for the correct way. So I think for scale swaps, it's definitely easy, and maybe even put it together too if you're a little, I want to say better at it than me, but you know, everybody has their challenges sometimes. So we're going to go ahead and thread our pivot in there just like so. Check our centering. Looks awesome. Let's go ahead and tighten down the rest of our body screws now. Perfect. Perfect. Centering looks right on the money. Action's great. Super solid lockup. That's one thing I'd say. A lot of the Benchmade Axis style knives, Axis locks, they always have a little bit of blade play, and this one certainly does not. Look how thick those liners are too, and look at the space in between the blade and the liners. There's basically nothing there, so that is definitely awesome. This is a pretty robust little knife. So let's go ahead and throw our pocket clip back on there. Alright guys, that's how you disassemble and maintain your Benchmade North Fork. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So thanks guys, and have a great one. Until next time.